Oh, hello, hello, Billy here. How's my family of light out there? So, today we are doing action steps going forward from 3D to 5D. So, this is part two, and I had all kinds of technical difficulties today. So, for the most part, I will probably be speaking to myself. I'm really speaking to you. So, it's such an important time right now. Today, just to do the timeline, is March 28, 2026. And, we're all going through the shift, right? And yet, we are the shift. And so, with everything going on out there, seems like a lot of chaotic energy. It's hard to get into that center, right? So, people always ask, that's like one of the biggest questions. Well, how do we go from this 3D, stress, low vibration way of being, which we were born into? That's all we know, right? So, from that to 5D, I mean, there's many different layers, mostly fourth dimensional, and then fifth dimensional is kind of like a very nice goal, but some of us are even higher vibration than that. We're going through this ascension, especially the solar waves, and when that time comes, um, you know, uh, there's many options of timelines too, and if you ever want to study that, uh, somebody that I love to follow is Ishmael Perez. So he's a cosmic historian, and he's just has this wisdom about all of that. But without having to know it all, even if that's not really your thing, just know that there's a lot of change going on. But it's really has to do with your consciousness, where you're at, what you're thinking, what do you believe, right? Because that's the energy you give off. So that is your current state in this 3D, 4D, whatever you want to call it. I don't even like names or labels, for things. But yeah, so, what kind of steps do we do? And so in the first gathering, we talked about the breath, right? How simple it is really to bring yourself back into your center with just the breath. Bring yourself into that beautiful alignment where you're no longer in the head, breathing shallow, right? And it is just such a wonderful form of de-stressing too, especially if you're on the go, just knowing you have that tool. And then the poof method, right? Where we intend, use the power of your mind to gather all lower energies, like whatever you catch yourself caught in that frequency, right? Because we're all one, right? We're all connected. So it's a big consciousness thing happening. That's why, and right now we're in between with many possible outcomes. So when I learned, listening to the last of Ishmael's teachings, there's basically like right now 6 positive outcomes that are potentials, right? But we mold them through our consciousness. We decide how the outcome of reality goes, right? And then there's 6 negative ones, which I don't even want to talk about because I don't want to feed it, So with the 6 positive outcomes, isn't that interesting? And so definitely get a chance to listen to that. It's very cool because you'll notice that probably you're like already resonating, and that's neat because we're automatically shifting. It's like your higher self, your oversoul, is taking care of you, is always got your back. God, source. This is actually a wonderful time to be alive, and yet it takes a little bit of work. But I think what the guides want us to know the most, and why I was guided to come up with this simple little book. I mean, 14 simple little steps. I'm sure there's more, or you could change it. But we think everything, or our mind has been trained, everything's complicated, everything's difficult, right? Well, actually, it doesn't have to be. And so, right, we talked about the breath, the poof method. And so action step 3, meditation. And these are just like one page. This one is like 1.5. But I want you to feel with the words, right? This is a big thing. When we read books, we have a higher understanding. It makes sense. Our logic mind's like, yeah, I'll get to it kind of thing. But I want you to feel how simple it is and how the body automatically kind of shifts, when we talk about these things and do these things. So, anyway, meditation, step 3. New to meditation, do you find yourself asking, am I doing it right? Meditation is probably the number one tool to help us relax, release stress, create focus, and virtually heal just about any part of us, mind, body, and spirit. And ooh, I use the word heal. Yeah. Because we really study it, people have, been able to heal. It's amazing how powerful our mind is, and especially when we let go. So meditation helps us to connect deeper with our true selves. It helps us feel grounded and better able to hear the quiet whispers of our inner guidance. So when it's in a state of peace, as in meditation, you're better able to let go. Right? Big point right here. That's really all you're doing. I mean, imagine for a moment. Right? You take the breath because you want to kind of recalibrate yourself, realign. Come into here. And then if you just close your eyes and you do a few slow, deep breaths, you're meditating. But it's in that letting go and the softening. That's when the magic happens. And the body, the cells, because that's an intention. And then the cells, your body automatically listens, right? So to adjust. It's amazing. And if we should have been taught the mind-body connection, right, from little on. So let's just learn it now or remember it because you're a whole being. So anyway, let me go on. And I wrote here, studies show that when we meditate, we literally shift the energy of our mind and body to peace and joy. Yes, they can read the frequencies. So this allows your body to heal on its own. Right? We just need the right atmosphere. And fear is not it. So, most of us have experienced struggling with mind chatter and old limiting beliefs. However, as we learn to get out of our head and tune into our body and our heart, we can take control of our health and happiness, right? It's all together in one. So using meditation on a regular basis, you begin to achieve higher states of consciousness, and you can anchor in the new positive thoughts and feelings. It's okay to start small, so even 5 minutes a day, then increase as you feel comfortable. So meditation can be guided, or simply listen to music, or chimes, or running water, or focusing on a candlelight. You can meditate while walking, doing art, or simply sitting in nature. I mean, any forms of art, any artist, when they're in their zone, that's a meditative state. That's when they're the most one with themselves. Like if you do a craft or a hobby or something you love, especially out in nature, just sitting on the grass, sitting outside, being out there. Oh my gosh, that's an automatic meditation. Sitting next to the trees. I love it. And what's another form? I mean, all of these things are so easy where you could, do it throughout the day, even a little bit here, a little bit there. You don't realize, you don't think that that does a lot, but just every time resetting your nervous system does so much because you're telling, if we're feeling or connected to like turmoil or fear consciousness, like, when stuff's going on, and you make that conscious decision yourself to unplug, now I'm coming in here, right? That's a big deal. You literally affect the collective consciousness, and then perhaps even your move, as little as you think it is, inspires another to also do that, right? Even without them seeing you, because we are all connected, right? We're all one. So, and what are other ways that, we can consider being meditation? Even listening to frequency music, right? That is so peaceful. I notice that my mind or the thoughts, throughout the day as you're going about your business, our minds go, talk about monkey, right? Mind or list of things to do, whatever else. And if I have, and sometimes really goes off, But when you put on a frequency music or meditation music, spa music, therapy music, Reiki music, all that stuff, and especially the frequency, like the different hertz, 432. One that I feel really comfortable is 528, feels really good. There's so many, like feel it out, and if you study even music and the frequencies, you'll learn a lot. That's a whole nother thing to go down. But sound and frequency are healing vibrations. So that automatically like helps the body kind of align. If you're all energy, right? And then you have the frequency and the music going on in the background. It is a type of meditation. I mean, just look at it as that, right? So it's not like, so meditation isn't like this struggle, because it's not. It's a softening. It's a breath. It's kind of the intention, the breath. And then meditation, look at it as just coming into my peace, where I'm actually connected with the all. And I'm plugged from the matrix. I'm unplugged from fear or confusion or even the not knowing, if you're in a place where you have to make decisions or whatever. I'm just going to meditate on this. Take a break, take a walk, close your eyes for a moment. Connect with nature, and amazing what comes through when you let it, when you let go, and just allow the flow once more, right? And it's not a bad thing. We've just been wired or programmed to kind of be in our head. So, when you're in your head, you're up here, you're breathing shallow, you're really not using all of you. And, your higher mind, right? Your high heart, your, right, again, if you haven't heard before, but in your heart mind, I mean, scientists have measured there's more neurotransmitters coming out of your heart center than your brain, right? That's a big deal. So you create, come from peace and oneness. Wonderful, wonderful. So good stuff, good stuff. Oh, hello. I thought I was talking to myself for a minute there. So happy you have joined. So the meditation part, right? Even I teach meditation, but I always say to myself, there's other ways. I should be meditating more, or whatever. But I wanted to talk about this because if you think about it, we actually do meditative things, and sometimes, when you sit back and you relax, listening to your body, like you might have had an invitation to go somewhere, you have to do this and this and this, but a part of you is like, you know what, no, I need to take that time for myself. And that's gold right there too. That's the body craving that peace. And you're kind of going into a meditative state. We often are, then here comes the funny thing, because then often comes in those little like, like a couple things go through your mind and you're like, I don't really want to think about that or that. And then we're apt to scroll or go through YouTube or whatever, and it can be good if you need to, if you need to, switch thoughts. But at other times, if you take that moment then to put on a meditation thing, it depends on the situation, and I'll just come to that softness. It's amazing. So by simply allowing yourself to slow down and let the process happen, know that there's no need to struggle. You just slow down and breathe, right? And it's in the breath especially. Sometimes when we slow down, we also slow down the breath. And you'll notice that's when there's more mind chatter, more things pop in your head, So it's like, never mind. Or what I do sometimes, I say to my ego self or that part of me, like, oh, thanks for sharing, and then I reset, right? It's like a tiny intention inside to get myself back on track. So slow down, breathe, and, really do that thoughtful breath. The exhale, intending to let go, even grounding, imagine the breath goes through your body and into the earth. Now you're steady, you're one. It's no longer the energy like spinning around in your head. You've now given it an outlet, and anchoring in prior to meditation is just the best. It's the best way to connect. And, you're really letting go and just you're being you for once. That's why you're here, to be you, and you are the shift. And, you know, there are those forces that want to keep you distracted so you can be you, because you just being you, that beautiful soul, that light, that love, you are anchoring and creating steadiness for the rest of humanity, and especially people around your circles, without them even knowing, to be able to ascend with greater ease, to hopefully pick a better timeline, one of their choosing, not one that their fears choose or being bounced around by other people's intentions, right? So this is a conscious ascension, and yet we all have to want to do it, right? We have to want to. We have to want to shift or ascend into a higher state. And I hope some of this is making sense, and feel free to make comments or questions if I skip over things or don't finish a point. So sometimes I see a lot and I just go off, and so I apologize for that. But yeah, I love to be in this kind of state of just that beingness, right? Again, you can be a walking meditation, and people feel it, they know it. People respond in kind. Just even test it when you go out and about. You can keep your eyes open, but let yourself walk. Be in the state of meditation. So when you breathe, right? So let's kind of go into it. Let's do more of that feelingness. Let's be in that state, right? Or even close your eyes if that helps to kind of go in, being in touch with the body more. But breathe, take a nice deep breath again, right? Just imagine, the first deep breath, you're breathing in clean air, new energy, opening up for more of your own life force energy. And with the breath, you're letting go, right? Softening, letting go any stresses. And we've already created that, the roots. So you have that connection to the earth. And just that thought, boom, it's happening, right? You're one, just like that. Connect it with the earth. And so now, on your next breath, imagine, right? Use the power of your mind. And imagine this time that you are breathing in beautiful golden light. You're kind of intending it now. Intention is everything. It's the direction of the energy of where you're going, right? So in meditation, even in just a few breaths, right? Imagine breathing in light and peace. Again, just that thought, that intention, and then the action, and your cells listen. They're always listening. They listen when you say bad things about yourself or about situations or whatever, right? So now, flip it, right? No, I'm breathing in light and love and peace, right? And that golden light, we hear that, especially if you're a meditator, you do whatever, but we often hear that, breathing in light. First you release because you got to let go, make room for the new. But when you breathe in the golden light, this is high vibration frequencies. When you're you're really meditating deeply, you work with the light, with frequencies. And this golden light, it's like the purest health. It's love. It's like source energy. It's love. It's abundance. It's like, it's an ultimate joy, right? So just keep practicing, keep allowing that to happen. And there's so many variations to choose from. It's kind of important just to pick, what works for you. Not all of us are, avid, yogi style. That's great. Those practices, are there for a reason. However, don't dismiss even the littlest action steps you can take. And this is what's going to move us forward, And so meditation, it's really more about softening, if you look at it that way, because you could feel a stressed body, right? You feel your nervous system, whether it's anxiety or whatever, and it's just your body saying, in that moment, your thoughts are somewhere else, and your body's calling you back, right? So it's really about taking that breath and coming into that softness, coming into softening, because that's you. All of a sudden, you can get more in touch with the light that is you, source that is you, right? And the more you let go of what doesn't serve you, the more you become your authentic self, feeling free, feeling joy, being you, because it's time to live your best life. And it all starts within, right? So that is the meditation and breathing. The breathing gets you into the meditation. The meditation is just the access point of you being you, and it can be a walking meditation. Could be, sitting on a park bench in nature, watching the animals, watching the birds, feeling the breeze, right? That kind of puts you in a meditation. So, let me check the comment. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, exactly. I just said it without even seeing your comment. Thank you, Bear. When I meditate, I create a scene and it's like nature, birds, and it calms me. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's it. You just reset your nervous system just like that. So I wanted to do a meditation that's a little deeper and really align with the higher vibrations, right? Because if we're going to use this 3D to 5D, what's 5D like? Well, honestly, that description, that nature scene and and the birds and all that freedom feeling, that's a lot of 5D. That's that feeling, and it just builds on that. And because we're coming from a heavier density, 3D, fear, that war, that kind of thing. And now, again, I don't know if I set the time on, it's March 28th, 2026. So this is past the spring equinox where we now have the divine feminine anchored in, right? So there is more of a balance. And which, believe it or not, as crazy as things are and even about to get, it is actually easier for us now to intend and to call in and to find that the balance of the divine feminine, divine masculine within ourselves. To be that light, to be the anchor for our people, for our circle, our tribe, whatever, wherever you are, and I mean, I'm seeing a scene now, and that could even be in the supermarket. You're doing your shopping and just being that light, that anchor, so just think about that and see how it has affected you. You're not immune to it. So I know shifts are going on within you. You may just not have noticed it, but it's pretty exciting. So think about that as we go into a meditation. Excuse me. Yeah. So again, I mean, that's the gist. Keeping it simple as an action step of going 5D and then just repeating it, just like learning a new instrument, right? Oh, I'm not a big meditator, but if you count all the other ways that meditation can look like in your world, okay, because in actuality, you're kind of going there naturally. And then if we go through things or we really are ready to improve or we feel the push of the ascension, right? The old stuff, the old patterns don't fit anymore. They don't work anymore. So it's going to take, it's like I'm almost at the point where I'm like, you know what? It feels so uncomfortable. Thank you. Because now it's making me like flip it and choose the higher vibration, because we get so used to, life or trying to make everything work in a chaotic energy, right? When yet the answer is the peace, and so sometimes we think it's like lazy. It can look that way if you don't allow yourself to get to the core, like the peace, the center, where you're breathing, because then you're allowing the flow and the left and the right brain, merging, and you're just connected and you're getting the answers. I'm not talking about being distracted by things, yeah, you might need it just to switch the energy, sure. But the going within, that's the ticket. And so I spoke about the different um, possibilities of outcomes, right? And I kind of want to just finish that thought because the possibilities, what are they based on? They are based on us. Our consciousness, what are we thinking? Which timeline are you choosing? Right? What are we choosing right now? And so, if we meditate and we imagine a peaceful world in nature and all that is you intending that higher timeline, right? So, in effect, you are creating like a step ladder to that. I mean, 5D isn't outside of us, right? It's actually in us. It's just a matter of what are we imagining? What vibration are we aligning with? That's all it is. So we just keep doing it. So it's meditation is a beautiful way of anchoring it in more and more and more. Before you know it, it becomes so easy. And it shouldn't be like a struggle or a like feel, oh, I have to kind of thing now. Because before you know it, the more you do it, it's actually you're just a walking example of it. You're just a walking, you're your 5D self. You're in the present moment always. So meditation pulls you back in the present moment. So if your thoughts are scattered, it just pulls you right back because as a creator being, you create in the now always, like it or not. You're creating your reality by what you're doing, thinking, and feeling right now. So let's get into that piece and practice anchoring in a higher timeline. We want the 5D timeline, you know? It's the collective consciousness of peace and unity. And again, tying it in with now the higher energies, the divine feminine energy that's now back on the planet, right? That's creative community, right? It's creation, but it's unity creation. It's like the softness, the allowing the oneness, right? So we want to feel that when we meditate. We're going to practice it so we can align with it, right? And so, I mean, the simple step we're done with. I'm just kind of going beyond it now. If you have time, I'm going to keep going. And one of the main things I like to use, and when we have a lot going on, sometimes we need a little more oomph to get into our center, right? So as far as meditation, I like to kind of claim it. Like I almost feel like, oh, there's so much oppressive energy, and I'm having a hard time. Maybe I did the puff, or I'm trying to put on soft music, and it's a little hard to come into center. So in those cases, I use a little bit of that claiming, right? If we're creator beings and we're kind of in this energy, we're one with it all, and what you're feeling at the moment is kind of pushing you out of your comfort zone. Can you meditate peace in the world? Yes, we can, and we're definitely going to do that. So thank you for putting that out there. Yeah. So when you do feel that chaos out there, it takes that intention to unplug from it. And then you already are shifting it, because if we're all connected, right? And if you want to create peace in the world by you alone already intending, so if it gets a little strong and you have a hard time even breathing yourself or, into that center place, then I like to command it, and it's as simple as saying the two most powerful words, and they are I am, right? It starts with that. And at that moment, it's like your I am presence. The more you repeat, or the more you go into meditation, even with that intention, you'll feel yourself be one, right? And it's just a beautiful thing. So I'm going to start off this meditation with that. And then we're going to go into a nice little thing and kind of see where spirit takes us. So thank you for joining me, and let us begin. So close your eyes if not already. Take a slow, deep breath. Breathing in light and peace. And letting go on the exhale. And let us begin. I am my I am presence. And I am one with the I am presence of all of humanity. I am one with Source, with my Father, Mother God. I am one with Mother Earth, with Gaia. And I breathe light into my heart center. I am a pillar of light, and I call forth the full power of the mighty violet flame of forgiveness and transmutation. One of the highest and purest energies of clearing and cleansing. And so imagine the violet flame clearing all of the causes, core effects, habits, records, and memories of every thought, feeling, word, or action that we have ever expressed in any time frame or dimension, known or unknown, that reflects anything less than God's infinite love, peace, pure health, and abundance. And I invite my I am presence, Source, to now fill this space with the most beautiful golden white light. And imagine now this beautiful light entering the top of your head. With every breath, it fills the body, feeding every cell, every organ, every body part. While all the old, any holding, any tension simply washes down the body. As this beautiful light fills to overflow, anchoring into the earth, where in turn you are blessing her as well. And imagine now coming into the most beautiful peace, just letting that loving energy flow effortlessly in and out. And as it flows to overflow, it not only activates dormant DNA, it begins to bring your chakras into alignment, begins to bring peace and balance. And let us now imagine that the overflow pours out of our heart. Imagine it pouring down your right arm, and as if we all connect, heart light to heart light, all the light workers. On our left, we receive. We just connect, feeling one in this beautiful space. And let us imagine now that we could reach hands across the earth to all of our brothers and sisters. This very moment, they feel our intention, our love, and our light. And they join in. We reach our arms across this beautiful planet. And imagine each of us ascending with our intention the most beautiful, loving energy, the energy of peace. And because we are all one, there's an aspect of each and every one that can feel your loving thoughts and intentions. And they look up, they look within, they take a breath and they breathe in that beautiful love and that light and that peace. And they feel the oneness. They feel as though they are being nurtured, magically nurtured in a loving energy of peace and unconditional love. And so take a moment to imagine seeing this response. Imagine seeing the little ones cheering and playing in pure delight. Imagine seeing people shifting, letting go of anything fear-based, and remembering who they are, their hearts opening and remembering. And they are so grateful. And so imagine now, in this higher vibration, imagine now choosing the perfect or aligning with the most perfect fifth dimensional or higher outcome for yourself. Matter of fact, your I'm presence already knows. So take a moment. What would that look like? There's peace everywhere. What would change in your world? Imagine the people that you would be around. Imagine your home and your surroundings. Imagine what you could do with no limitations, with just pure joy and peace, creating beautiful, heartfelt creations and unity. And then when you're ready, set an intention going forward. Remember, you create with your intentions. And know that your I Am Presence and your guides are fast at work. And you are now aligning with the higher vibrations. And when you're ready, you can bring yourself back, feeling the seat beneath you, taking a nice breath, and opening your eyes, and just letting those beautiful thoughts settle. Just taking a moment to really feel the peace that you have created with the action step of meditation, knowing that you can come back to this state going forward anytime. And let's all, throughout the day, intend that we feel this peace on earth. Not because we are powerful creators, that's what we're going to create. So, unless there are any other questions, I want to thank you for joining me today. And I invite you to take those action steps. Come back to your breath, meditate, even mini meditations, and just align with the highest version. And just know that you don't even know yet what that is. It just gets better and better and better, right? So, anyway, love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a blessed day. Take care.